Hi, we've spoken before about what you need to do during a major power outage, but today I have a different question for you. If a power outage happened right now due to this extreme heat, would you be ready? I'm going to show you 3 completely different levels, starting from being absolutely not prepared, going all the way up to being able to keep all your essential equipment running during a prolonged outage. So the goal isn't to own the most equipment. The goal is to move from panic to preparation, one step at a time. So let's get started with level 1, the panic level. Here it is, it's 110 degrees outside, everyone's using their air conditioners and the grid just can't handle it, and all of a sudden, the power goes out. So what do you do first? There's no lights, there's no air conditioning, you need to act fast. Now, just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm gonna undo the power grid failure. Okay, you need to see me. So for the rest of this video, imagine the power is out. So the first thing you want to do is communication. You need to find out what's going on. How long is the power going to be out? What happened? Did a squirrel go walking down my wire, stand on a transformer, fry himself, and just the neighborhood went out? That happens a lot in this neighborhood. Maybe it's citywide with just the power grid going down. Or maybe it's the whole country from an EMP or something even worse. So find out what it is. If it's something just for a short time, you'll be all set to get through it with these steps that I give you. But if it's something prolonged, you're going to want to make plans to bug out, okay? Always have a bug out bag. Step number 2 is to secure your water immediately. It could be that you're going to lose water, and if you do, it'll probably be within 30 minutes. So right away, you want to run right over to the bathroom and fill up your bathtub. Make sure the plug is in. Otherwise, you're in trouble. So fill up your bathtub and any other containers you could find, such as 5-gallon buckets. Don't use this one because this is actually a combination of my toilet and a trash can. Nice soft seat. But the water in the tub can be used for washing dishes, for helping you to flush the toilet if you need to. And if you don't have storage water for drinking, you can even purify it by boiling it, by using aqua tabs, by using these different P&G water purifiers. There's a lot of different methods, and you'll see in a lot of my past videos we talk about water purification. Step 3 is to keep your house as cool as possible. So the first thing you want to do with that is go ahead and close all your curtains. This is if it's in the daytime and it's really warm outside. And if you have any of those light blocking curtains, go ahead and shut those. If you don't, another great thing you could do is just get sheets of cardboard about the same size as your window or smaller ones and cover one side with aluminum foil with the shiny side facing out. Go underneath the shades so they're right on the window with the reflective part going out. This way, when the sun hits it, it's going to reflect off of it and not come into the house. That alone will lower your temperature a few degrees. You want to close all the doors. In this case over here, I have a curtain that I can close separating the rooms so I can be in the smallest room, which is actually this one right here. So I'm going to stay in this small room and keep this room cool rather than trying to cool off the whole house. And at nighttime, you're going to do just the opposite. At nighttime, it's probably going to be warmer inside than it is outside. So if it is, open your windows, take your fan and put it facing out in one side of the house. Yes, you can open up all the doors and flush all the heat out of the house. So you have the cool air from outside coming in and you're flushing it out the other side. So very simple, you're making your, what I call a whole house air conditioner. But at morning, you want to close the windows again because you're going through the whole process of keeping the cool in and the hot out. Step number 4 is to protect your food. Now, most people at the cost of groceries today have hundreds of dollars of food in their refrigerator and freezer that can spoil very quickly. So, listen closely. What you need to do is eat it all right now. I'm kidding, don't. Unless you want to make the neighbors really happy. But that food should be eaten first before any storage food. What I do is make a list really quick. Hopefully you know what's in there already, but make a list of what's in your refrigerator so you know what to eat first. So for lunch, for dinner, so you can not lose that food. Don't keep opening and closing it. Keep it closed, especially your freezer, because you got 4 hours for the refrigerator, but the freezer, if it's full and not opened, okay, it could last up to 48 hours. If it's half full, you're looking at about 24 hours, unless you're opening and closing it again. In fact, I have a little test I'd like to show you. This is something that I made to put in my freezer, because if the food defrosts and I didn't realize that it defrosted too quickly and the power came back on and the food refroze, okay, you can open the freezer and say, oh, it never defrosted, it stayed frozen. But if it did defrost for too long, you might get sick on it. So this here is a little test where I put water up to here, I froze it, and I simply put a penny on the top of it. Now what's going to happen if the freezer did defrost? This water is going to melt and that penny is going to sink. So when you go in your freezer, look, and if your penny's on top, you're all set. If it's down here or down at the bottom, here, not too bad, it didn't defrost totally. If it's at the bottom, it defrosted totally. So you're going to want to check your food. Some of it might be good, some of it might not be, depending on how long it was defrosted. Great little test to have. Number 5 is an easy one. Stay hydrated. You need to drink water, especially if it's really hot out there. You need to drink before you get dehydrated. So every once in a while, just take a little bit of water. It's good for you. So make sure you stay hydrated and avoid strenuous activity during the extreme heat. That's easy for me because even when it's not hot, I try to avoid strenuous activity. Oh, hey, let's move on before Raluca hears me. Number 6 is to keep yourself cool. A good thing to do is to take maybe a light towel, get it wet, wring it out, put it around your neck. The pressure points like around your neck, around your ankles, around your wrists make a big difference. Maybe have your own little DIY cooler. I showed this in an earlier video and there's a link in the description below so you can see how to make it. All it has is my battery operated fan and a frozen gallon of water. Or if you don't want to make something like that, just have the water and put the fan behind it and you can get in front of it. Again, keeping yourself in a small room, because this is not going to cool off the whole house. It's not even going to cool off the room, it's going to cool you off directly. Another thing you can do if the room is too big and it's just too warm is, in one of my previous videos, I showed how to make a cooling oasis by having a small tent. A 2 or a 3 man tent, set it up in the middle of the room and put something like this inside the tent. That will really help to cool you down. And you know, if you have children and you want to have fun, get one of those little swimming pools. Just fill it up with, so not fill it up, put about maybe that much water from the tub water you saved in there. Have you and the kids sit around and just put your feet in it. That's going to make a big difference in cooling you off. Okay, the next thing you can do is prepare for cooking. If you don't have electricity, how are you going to cook your food? I have some propane grills outside, but it's also raining outside, so you might not be able to use that. You might want to use one of these little propane thingies, and you can cook with that. But if you're using any kind of propane or anything like that, make sure your house is well ventilated. There's little butane things. This is a stove that goes on butane. Or you can use one of the things we showed in the past, my muffin tin with some tea lights in there, or even some hand sanitizer. And again, we have videos in the description showing you how we did that. You can cook a whole meal on this if you have to. So make sure you have a way to be able to cook your food. Number 8 is to preserve communication. Be able to keep in touch with your family, your loved ones, your friends, and what's going on. So you might want to have a little power bank that you could plug your telephone into, or if you have to, you also have the car as an emergency charging device. Go in there, turn it on, and plug in your phone, call to make sure everyone's okay. Number 9 is to help others. Keep in mind that heat kills. So you might want to check with your neighbors, the elderly or disabled people that you know of, to make sure they're okay and see if you can help them out. And number 10 is finally to decide whether you're going to stay or you're going to leave. You're communicating with people. If you see that's going to be over soon, you can stick around. If it's going to be going on for a while and you're not prepared, it might be a good idea to move to a shelter, someplace that's set up for it, maybe with relatives or out of town. Okay, so everything we've showed you so far showed you how to survive the very first hours of a power outage. Let's move to step 2. I've made an upgrade myself that's going to make me more comfortable, and I'm pretty excited to show it to you because it's going to make you a lot more comfortable too. This is the OUPES Mega Pro 2 portable power station. This thing is so great. I wish I had it before. I've wanted one for a while. Matter of fact, in my recent live video, I was talking about how I was going to build my own portable power station, but OUPES sent me this one to try out, and I don't need to build one right away. I love this thing. But let me show you what it's all about. This thing here, it's not plugged in right now, but you do plug it in to charge it right over here. Actually, you can charge it with electricity. You can charge it with a cigarette lighter. You can charge it with solar panels that they have. And once it's charged, all you do is come over here and hit the power. It's 100% charged right now. I actually charged it. You know, it only takes about an hour to get it to 80%, and it took me a little bit longer to get it to 100%. So I think normally you give yourself 2 hours and you could recharge this thing 100%. And you can see in the front, you can plug in things. Matter of fact, I'll show you. If your phone's going down, you can take your power bank and just plug that bad boy, plug that thing right in there. And now that's going. And there's a button over here for output. Okay, I just hit the AC. So you see when I hit the AC, it's showing what the output is, and it shows you how much time you got left. Takes a few seconds. There's actually not really any output because that's already fully charged. But now watch those buttons, the output, how many watts, and how much time you have left. I'm going to plug in a few things. Now my lighting, I had my umbrella light on the whole time. So we're going to make it dark for a minute. And I'm going to plug that. I've got 4 sockets over here. You can actually plug in a lot of things, but this is just, this is just for the regular AC. Now look at the front over there. And the lights are using 87 watts, and I have 19 hours that I could run that before this thing goes out. Now remember, I'm not going to be using the lights 24/7. They're off during the daytime and only when it starts to get dark. Now besides that, it's getting warm in here, so I'm going to plug in my fan. I can't forget him because this is one of my biggest fans, of course. Been with me for a long time. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we got the fan, we got that. Now here's the biggie. Let me turn this down so you can hear me. Oops, turn it down to 1, okay. I just want to show you, okay, we're using 37 watts, and there's 12 hours left. Now, how about my refrigerator? All right, it's on the other side of the house, but I got the plug. Watch what happens when I plug in the refrigerator. People say, can you do that? I plug in the refrigerator, and look at that. With all these other things, I'm using 268 watts, and I have over 7.5 hours. So I can run the refrigerator. I'm going to trip here. I'm tangled in the wires. So I can run the refrigerator for 7.5 hours to get that thing recharged. But the thing is, I might only need to have it plugged in for about an hour or so. I'm going to run it until the generator stops, because of course when the generator is going, it's trying to freeze everything, but when it stops, it's all frozen again. So how long can I keep this thing going above 7.5 hours if I don't have to continually use it on that? Now, another one of my favorite things, okay? I have all this going on. It's time to cook meals. I don't have to worry about my refrigerator, so I go get the food. I don't want to use a homemade stove. I'm using my electric stove. So I can plug that in too. And now I have an electric stove. Now I'm not going to cook on top of the OUPES. You wouldn't like that. I spatter a lot. So I could cook on top of that, and that's going too. So I have my stove, my refrigerator, my fan, my charger, 137, so there's an hour and 4 minutes. So this thing probably takes a lot of electricity, so let's turn that off. Do you see how great that is? And the thing is, when it starts to go down, because you know how much battery power you have left, it's still at 100%. Okay, so when it's starting to get a little questionable, you can actually take this thing, unplug it all first, take it in your car and go someplace where they do have electricity and charge it if you want. It only weighs 40 pounds, okay? Now that's a lot for me, but that's why I have Reluca lift it. I mean, just think of the possibilities. You can run your lights on it. If I unplug, let's say, the refrigerator, because I don't need that anymore, okay? I can run my laptop, actually even my regular computer, so I can continue working. And if I want to work on the road, I could take this thing with me. It's so cool. And oh, by the way, I didn't mention, it comes with this handy dandy carrying pouch that has your cigarette lighter charger, and it has your regular wires. Pretty much everything you need is right in this with the handle, so you look really business-like. Okay, I tried. So that's level 2. And level 3 is you can use this, and if you have a way to keep it charged, you're not just surviving the heat wave, you're riding the wave, okay? So with the solar panels, or being able to plug it in someplace else, or if you have a generator, you could take it outside and charge it up on the generator. Generators make a lot of noise, the gas generators or the diesel generators, but at nighttime you can turn them off, bring this in the house and have a nice quiet night. So I think this thing is awesome, and the reason I wanted to bring this up to you is because we show you how to survive in level 1, but the best thing, we know these things are coming every year and every winter. We have power outages. Why not be prepared, especially with something that's not really that expensive and it's portable. And by the way, this thing even has an app to make life a lot easier. And for those of you techie people that want to know all the facts, get a load of this. And if you're interested in getting one for yourself, go to the description below this video where we have a discount code that you can use to get a great price. So Opus, I want to thank you for sending this to me. I absolutely love it. And everyone out there, thanks for watching. I hope you handled the heat wave really well and you can ride the wave, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now. Can I get this to make ice cream? That would be so cool, wouldn't it?
You can plug in your ice cream machine.